Hello and welcome back, my friends. Hambbage here. Wow. Again, voice. Hambbage here. Trying to speak and failing at times. Anyway, let's get back to it. One day, somewhere in the future, my work will be quoted. Nice. Glad to know it. We're gonna someday in the future look back on our slow cooker world and go, this was the day when we unloaded all these boxes and cooked up some iron and gold and copper. It was awesome. And that's what we've been doing to much success and probable fanfare. I don't know about the fanfare part. That might be reaching. But we do have all this remaining stuff to get tidied up and away. So let's do that. Somewhere in here, we got a place to jam some more netherrack, I'm sure. Oh, we never did cook that ancient debris either. Now, bonus prizes and cookies to whoever can remember. Oh, I think it was the fortune pick. Too late. Sorry, no cookies for any of you. Along the way, I think we were back in the mine, actually doing the mining, and I've been talking about, hey, there's stuff we need to do where we're going to be having increasing wear on the fortune pick, and maybe we should give that a priority in terms of netherite covering, so that we don't have to do quite as much repairing on it. And we didn't find that it wore down too terribly when we were uh-oh, cracked, polished. I think that was a mistake there. Polished. Uh-oh. Ah, man, this is why there's so much Blackstone. Start where we can. That's all Blackstone. This is all bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. More bricks. Cracked, polished bricks. Cracked, polished bricks. Cracked, polished bricks. Oh, and I had made these. So this is polished bricks. This is polished Blackstone. And more plain Blackstone. So confusing. Okay. Not really. It wasn't bad. We had a great system back when we were using that stuff all the time. When we were building out the highway, it was pretty good stuff. However, it a bit more difficult. So let's. None of this matters. I mean, I guess I could have jammed it into one of those when they finished, but I'm not real wild about sitting there waiting for it. And pulled into here along with a little bit of glass. All right, we got 4 of these. So I think I'm going to take the kind of easy, obvious way out here. And I don't know, and I feel great about it, but I don't see how we can't, honestly. It's, oh man, I wish I'd brought that with. Very loud rain up here. It's kind of one of those obligatory things, I think. You've kind of got to do it, at least for the first one. I don't know that we'll ever have others, but I mean, this is the slow cooker world. We are dealing a lot with food, and I do need to name this because, oh, well, I've got one up there. Let's not use the one that we have in the box. um, because I'm going to want to distinguish it as much as possible from the Silk Touch picks, if that makes sense. So we got our ingot. We've got our Fortune 3 pick. Boom. We've got name tags. Ooh, Enderman not doing well. Um, I, no. What do I do? Here. No, wait, I don't even need this. What am I doing? I mean, how many times has that been done, honestly? A million? But we absolutely need to because like I said, above all else, we want to just try to minimize the chance of, wow, dogs. What's going on with my sounds here? Why is everything so loud? Not quite sure. Oh, now I got gold in my pocket. What? Is there anything else I need to do? Everybody go to the bathroom? Yes, I need to get the iron. So much iron. So we officially almost made a full beacon's worth of iron without even touch it, without even touching the last of the ovens that we had going. That is pretty crazy. I haven't had that much iron. Yeah, Iron Farm totally would have sped that up a little bit, but we didn't need that. Okay, well, let's stock those up. So we've now got two beacons. We've got fuel to power them. Let's just do that. Fuel to power them for a long time to come. Now we can go back upstairs, and it's not quite as wasted a trip with the gold that I forgot to put away the last time. Run, 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 run. Pump those knees. Man, we would get such a good workout running these stairs and climbing the ladders every time. All right, seriously. What? And that hasn't always been like that, right? I mean, maybe. What is my. Just lower my overall system volume. I'm sure that's what's different. I don't want to start jacking up all the various settings. Okay, no, I haven't done what I actually came up here to do. That would be the highlight. Okay. You go away. You guys go away. So we really could do a whole nother just set up on emeralds and iron again. But, I'd just as soon hold out for the others. Now the question is, what do we do with all that stuff? I don't think it's time to set up a separate iron box just yet, but we're not horribly far off. The other question is, have our little neighbors despawned from the last time we were here? That's a bigger concern. Not a huge concern. They're still over there, once again with our bees. One thing I have yet to see since 117, we have not seen a single wandering trader. We used to get them all the time up here. A little odd. Now we don't have any of that. Let's go repack all the boxes. We'll come back up. We'll grab, top off the steak into the consumables box. Okay, so these two are now empty. Good. And that's our supply. So those go away. Like, what? These two we're going to carry with us, as is this. And I already put the fortune cookie pick away, I hope. Otherwise, we've managed to lose it in 2 minutes. Yep, there they are. Now the rain stopped. Yeah, let's go get them. Why not, right? We got milk. Maybe that will trigger in the game Wandering Trader. Now, will he shoot the other guy? There you go. Get him. Now, what the heck? We got milk. And now we got another banner. We got lots of banners now after the raid. Now, I don't want those guys shooting our bees, as usual. It'd be kind of cool if once they got in the fight, and they may do this anyway, it'd be kind of cool if they would come over and kind of all try to get through that fence. Okay, so milk. Again, we did our raid. Glad we did it. I'm glad we survived it. But I don't think we need to dive back into that just yet. If we do, boy, are we going to try to not set up the scenario next time where we can't access the attacking what are they? Evokers. Like educators? They're summoners, but that's not what they're called. I couldn't go. Because we can. Oh! Did you eat all those? Why did that go so crazy? That was weird. I don't get an eating it thing from cake anymore? Why does everybody hate the cake? Cake lost its advancement. It's like Pluto the planet. Doesn't give you a planet status anymore. And when you eat it, it just goes away instantly. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. If if you're using cake for survival, you can eat it instantly and recover a bunch of health. So maybe that's a real appealing way to look at it. But it's also kind of trolly. Alright, so let's put you there. 4 raw cods are really gonna do it. We got cooked salmon. I don't like to use that for the taming. I don't know that it's a problem. I just for whatever reason kind of have a hang up on it. Banner? What? Were they downstairs? No, there was some there, right? Yes. Banner. Okay, it's done. You guys done? Close. I'm chomping at the bit. Um, I was really tempted to just go do a harvest. I'd like to keep trading to get emeralds to build up to an all emerald base. We are 69 emerald blocks away. So that's a lot, right? That's a full row of emeralds turned into blocks and then some. So we got a good ways to go. But something I would like to get, I'd like to have that as our third beacon. Done? Done. Okay, full resupply of food. We've got fox supply. Oh, you know what we don't have? Speaking of supplies. Don't have leads. And not that I'm planning on doing this anytime immediately. But it would be great if we did come across foxes to be able to use leads to help manage foxes. They're a little pesky for breeding. Ocelots too? Man, it's been a while since I bred ocelots. We'll have to figure that one out. Again, it's usually just, making enough space first to get them to show up. And then when they do show up, getting them somewhere where they can't get away, and then getting them fed so that they will breed. Man, I remember when ocelots were the cat, right? You'd find these wild cats and you'd breed them, and then out would pop a little kitty cat, and you'd have a domestic cat. It was kind of like the dogs and wolves a little bit, I guess, but kind of silly too. All right. I think at least for the run, we'll hold on to that stuff. I don't know why to put it away. Oh, except for the copper. Are we done, copper? Well, we are here. Loads and loads and loads of beautiful copper. Always just sticking it to you, right? Oh, I guess I don't even need to do this, but I should have. I was being lazy. We can do this, though. Boom. Now, you can see why this is going to be a pretty prized commodity when it comes to building. There is a massive loss when you prepare the copper. And we tried with like ingots and stuff. We couldn't do anything until I knew more about it and gone and looked. You can't. The ingots, as far as I know, and this may be changing, but like, aside from like the lightning rods and some of that kind of stuff, you can't do anything with them. They're not a. Oh, waxed. I was like, what did I do? What's wrong? So these. Sleep. These are building type blocks, right? And we can prepare them into stairs and slabs and blocks, which is great, mostly for roofing. That's about the extent of it, but that's cool. I love a good copper roof, and I don't think we have much there. You know what? Let's just get another box. We'll put it out here with the building supplies because I don't have any intention of using them elsewhere, at least in the very immediate future. We're going to be, whatever copper we end up with, it's coming back here, and we're putting it in the base build. That's just kind of bottom line. So we'll go ahead and just set up knowing that we're a long way from being able to do a whole lot with copper. I mean, we can spread that out with slabs and stuff, but we're a long way from needing it too. You know, internal roofs of the buildings and things that we're going to have inside here, but I could see, you know, a chapel with a steep roof, some kind of I don't know that a barracks would have it, but maybe like a, you know, my house, right? The kind of luxury accommodations, maybe some kind of a plaza, you know, those kind of things that we can use with copper, and a variety of the wax to stay bright and shiny, and some of the oxidized, or waxing along the way so that you can freeze time, as you will, or if you will. All that would be very cool stuff. But again, we are now much delayed, off and on our way. Dogs, you guys are in charge. Have at it. Have fun. I think we've done everything we need to do at the base for a while. Again, harvesting crops or something would have been great. I'd love to get back to that, but it's been so long since we've done the building stuff that I want to focus on. And granted, it's going to be a while still. We've got to do a lot of gathering to really get back to that point. Now we want to go this way. Man, it's been so long since I've been out this way. You guys ready for a run? Until we had the 17 chunks, this was the long haul. We did get a ghast in our video, so we're really still only looking for the dragon on the spyglass. Oh, I don't even have my spyglass with me anymore. I put it away. It's okay though. I don't need that. At some point along the way, we'll want to pop out and just do some more nether cruising. We've done a lot of tunneling through the nether, but in some of these classic, the nether wastes, I believe they're called, whatever they are, we haven't just ranged for a lot more of the quartz. We've got a good supply of quartz. We've used so much of that for XP. We really haven't done anything in either of the forest biomes either, the warped forest or the crimson forest. So lots more to do in the nether as well that can tide us over. Lots of glowstone we could pull down and use into lamps and things. So very much fun to be had. It's tough to go. Yep. Now we have no ancient debris at all. We got a long way to go before our next. Oh, you didn't do so well there, buddy. We still haven't made the turn. Come on. We need more ice boats. So I mentioned the other last evening I got to watch some JDMC on Twitch, and he was, rejoining this world that he streams out of and has been a member of for a long time, but hadn't streamed in a few months, and so informally doing a bit of a tour just as he was getting his bearings back, got to see, and I was saying, they have one of the coolest transit hubs in the Nether that I've seen. And there have been some of the the large SMP or pre-SMP servers for content creators that have been impressive, and I'm not taking any away from those. Those have been cool and artistic ideas, but this was all done with rail rather than ice or other paths, and it had all been apparently done by somebody else. He was crediting some name I'd never heard for doing a lot of the work on it. But rather than like storefronts or those kind of things where everything led to a path that went off, these were all minecart rails. So it's admittedly slower, but they're all automated. So while they're slow, you just hop in and you can pick your destination of the couple that are going, and you don't have to do anything, and then you're just on your way, which is nice if you're not doing the content. All that, you can just click, get up, go get a glass of water or something like that, come back, you get those mini breaks in that I talk about. So even worlds where you have a long, I forgot we had done some improvements here. We're getting on our way to making this path. But yeah, even in worlds where you have long minecart runs, it can still be pretty nice if you're set up for that kind of, like, all right, everybody sit back, relax. We got a long cruise to go, and as long as everyone knows what's coming, it isn't just waiting. It can be there, but it wasn't that long. But what was really cool is we were going from a remote location into the central hub, or he was going to meet somebody, I forget. But as all these rail lines started to converge, it was like, riding a train into a city, or looking above as you follow kind of rail lines going into a city. And with the Nether, they're all like, looping over and under each other to get access in, and then it was like this station yard where all the lines come together and terminate at the same end with paths over the top to get from one line to another. So it really had that authentic look, and tastefully, fully decorated, but not like super crazy, more like, okay, this is fitting with a train station kind of deal. And I thought it was incredible. It was really cool. And that's what I was talking about, the inspirations that you can get from seeing other worlds, other people's projects and all that. Just so awesome. And I was like, man, that's good stuff. So before we head out into the wild blue, let's plop down here because I don't have a bed yet. I don't think I need anything else. Maybe we'll do one of those maps while we're out here, though. Oh, man. Both get in here. Stop being bad. So, we could... I guess I should show this off. Or maybe people that haven't seen this in a while. We haven't been here in so long. This is my Mesa or Badlands base. Took us forever to find. Literally, before we had wings, we went thousands of blocks looking. So I made kind of a desert style, just vacation home, kind of, ranch style home. It's got the big veranda deck all the way around it. Elevated second story, which you saw from inside. I haven't lofted off or made any living space. We don't need that much. We gave it plenty of floor space for some chests and everything we could need here in the area. But I love this little build. All mine turn out a little bit differently, but it's not anything super different. Just use some different local materials, some dark wood and some oak to merge up. They used a little bit of the red terracotta around the air vents at the top, and had some decking to keep spiders and things out of the crawl space, which I thought was a very realistic touch. So There we go. I don't think, as I'm like wandering back and forth here, I don't think we want to go down that path necessarily. Um, it was cool, and I'm not opposed to that direction. Just wondering if we can go hit somewhere that's kind of all new. And while I don't know that it will load as 17, we've kind of already circled the area. Unfortunately, stupid. Um, but I wouldn't mind getting just a brand new mine area before we set up. We'll see. This is kind of the area that we'd already been into a bit. Oh, oh. Come on. I guess we're here to gather some stuff. Let's make it easy. So this was our forest when we needed some trees, some wood resources. We found ourselves out here. We just chopped and replanted that forest a bunch of times, made it a little more dense. And all in here, we've got a little mine area that we've pretty well explored, I believe. So I think rather than spending a ton of time what we should maybe do is try to get out of the area. But I'd love to have an expanded color palette of some of this kind of stuff. And I would even more love to have another fresh mine full of gold and coal and all the rest of it that we can kind of just take from top down. And it doesn't have to be a whole chunk or anything like that. We'll maybe just leave the structure in place. But one of it's kind of specific what I am really looking for, because I'd like to have some mines on the edge, but also have a low spot where there's a lot of the redstone and sand that we can gather up, right? All the terracotta is great, but what we really need is all that stuff in the middle. And while I think there's a pretty good layer, at some places you can just go terracotta right into stone and not get any of that. So again, we're not too worried about it. We're just going to go west here. It's a little bit southwest of the base, but primarily if we just go east all the way home, we will be pretty well set. Now this could be the little hole that we've worked in most recently. Does that look unsanded? It looks pretty sandy, doesn't it? Maybe this is where we want to be. I just know as soon as I go down, it's going to be, oh, look, that's exactly where I was. We've already done all this stuff. And I'm not as worried about the beacon power in the sand part. I mean, we can get the sand and the redstone easy enough. It's not that robust either way. But I'd like it a lot more for some of the terracotta. So as long as our little fence path doesn't come out of here, I think we're good. Maybe back in this corner. Oh yeah, because this goes all the way down. Nice little river valley. We'll probably be under some assault here for a bit, but that's okay. So this episode should get us established. As you can see, this is right into where we want to be. And we can even play around a bit with what we power it with. I don't know that I've ever, other than just playing, I don't think I've ever set up a beacon for anything other than haste. That's kind of always been my deal. But we could put on some resistance or something like that for while we're battling, or clearing out the caves too. I don't know. Okay, how far? How about like that? Don't mind that too much for now. Whoa. Done. Something got quiet around here. Maybe somebody's AC stopped kicking. Guessing that's what it was. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are going to be golden. Ender chest. Beacon box. Blocks. Sorry about the keyboard noises here. Just trying to get these knocked down or placed as quickly as we can. Ah! We're doing so well. I was like, see how well I can do when it's not the nether? It's not that well. Did I miss? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's why nothing is working out right. Alright. That looks much better. Boom. Beacon and cool. Alright, so we're going to haste and power up. And when we remove, we'll see that we got haste 2. And that will just keep refreshing. Anybody that didn't see the dragon episode, that's where we kind of go. So we've now, I think to start, even though we're kind of interested in the hill and the potential caves and all that good stuff, let's get this low area so we can set out our boxes and just have a clear spot to work. like this ever quite lays down, so just pick a spot. This isn't critical precision work here. We're just making a workspace. Now this is kind of the area that in the past I've done similar. I don't even know that I had a beacon at the time. Foolish me. But once upon a world, I did a similar excavation of mesa hills and all that, and cleared out just to sea level, not to bedrock or anything like that, but just down to the sea level. Made this nice big flat area, and that was where I did my raids, and that actually worked out really well because the waves would spawn up on the hill, and I'd set a couple staircases where they had to wander or jump, and they would do a mix. But even with just a little bit of kiting, I could get them to follow me down in. And I had a couple golems down there. But yeah, those I could really deplete with the bow and arrow, thin them down quite a bit, and then take out the remnants when they came down kind of on the ground. And yeah, vexes and all that's still a problem, but you could see them up on the ridgeline, as opposed to the last, the raids that we just did, where I almost lost it. We had so many vex to deal with. The difference was I could shoot up at them and see them. In this last one, they were right under the ridge in the lip, and I couldn't ever get clean shots because there were so many vex hitting me from behind, threatening to knock me down into their midst. So, tip, aim upwards, or set up, if you're trying to make not just a straight raid farm, but you want to make kind of an arena to actually handle your raids. This is more the place to do it than in any other area. So we'll get lots of terracotta. Again, I'd really like to use some of this kind of stuff too, but I don't yet know how all we want to do it. When we get done with all of this stuff and want to get back to it, maybe we'll do kind of a palette like we did with the quartz and the blackstones and all that. We'll make a kind of a gallery of our options. What all the different forms and types can be. There's the glazed, which kind of looks artistic, let's say, and a little bit goes a long way in some of those. You don't want to use them as I shouldn't say that. You can use them as a dominant building block in whatever you're creating, and it can be pretty impressive, but it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a very specific kind of style that you're looking at. Okay, now before we get too wild here, let's do blues for sand. Alright. I don't think any more of these are sands. We'll do pinks and purples and all that for sandstones. Oh, although we don't have any. What am I thinking? We're not going to get any. We're going to have to make those. So blues can sit for that. Greens are going to be all of our terracottas, and you go away before we confuse. You go away until we need you. You guys come out, and we'll start one of those, maybe? I don't know. Greens, terracottas, blues, sands. Now, I'm not gonna worry too much about colors on those, I don't think. Green. Terracotta, this is a drawback. Terracotta, sand. You know what? Oh, I bet I didn't bring any of them, did I? Do we have a mine tunnel, or were they all just regular caves that I thought were tunnels as I got excited by the spot here? There's some cob. Oh, they're right over here. Let's go. This is great. All we need. Just need to make some chests. Nothing there. Everything else, eventually, this is all going to go. Will all be part of a big old hole. But for the moment, yeah. If the game really wanted to, it could just throw a hole there. I don't need torches. Who needs torches? All right, good start. So we're going to get one of those. This is good because we had actually needed some of those to go with our leads in case we ever come across stuff. Now, for starters, we'll put just a double chest here. Stuff we're not mining for is going to go in there, including some of the abandoned mine proceeds, which we can then gather up. Okay. So we got terracottas in the green. We've got, I think, stone and all that kind of stuff. And we'll just kind of see how it plays out. So the next thing to do is to go up. And try to find the combination high and far point from our beacon here. And we kind of need to get out far enough so it won't regen. And then work our way back. Okay, so we're at around here. And it doesn't have to be precise. Just enough. Kind of give us a boundary of where we want to work. You leave some of this up, but this should be, it should be more or less an arc, not oh. On. That's a surprise. Maybe it's not an arc at all. Maybe it's a square. You live and you learn. Well, won't matter for too long. Like I said, we're not trying to go min-maxy here. We're just trying to get things set up as nicely as possible to efficiently erase this side of the mountain. And that's a little harsh. Wouldn't be my first style, but it is kind of the desert. Industrial supplies are needed. You know, we all live in homes or apartment buildings or something, and those all came from somewhere. You know, whether the gravel pit is visible to you or not, even if it's, you know, concrete, your home was made with raw materials, and those had to be gathered. So that's what we're doing here. And quite honestly, a lot of those supplies come from areas not much different than this. I bet I left my bed down there. Okay, so this is something like that. Rather be safe than definitely try to work around that pond and right down to there. Oh man, we can take this whole thing. That's great. I don't think any of that. Oh. Oh. A little bit of evening combat just to let us go. Let me just check the time real quick. 53. Oh, that's great. We have an evening of fun to be shared by all. I don't know what I'm doing. This is stupid. I'm just filling up with junk that I don't need. None of us need. Let's, oh man, look at them all. They brought a witch? Ha 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 ha. Okay. Probably some monsters around. Dump out all that stuff. And back up we go. I think we got most of the trees done, right? Be nice if we could maybe get dirt. Although, it would be nice to just get cleared of a section, huh? Let's go the no dirt part. Oh, falling in my own holes. So like the ice, this is going to be mainly a matter of watching durability. Trying to ensure that I don't inadvertently destroy stuff just by chopping willy-nilly. Now, let's maybe get like that. Let's see, this is what I love it. You get the white, the dark brown, the yellow. So many cool colors to mix into stuff. Makes it really fun to have all this. And we'll kind of look to have stairs or something as we carve this out up along a side, or not. I don't know exactly how we want to do it, but ooh, maybe just like this. And we'll just keep trying to come out with the plane, because we're going to have so much of that eventually. Now, what are we doing? We still got a lot of space. Maybe we can get this whole deal. The other piece we want to do is get our stairs to the bottom going as well. So we can have easy access back up to this level, because filling boxes and all that is going to require a few trips up and down. So let's see what this gets us. What did I just... Oh, it was light gray. I was like, what? What did I not have there? That soft little piano bit going. Dirt, you gotta come in and ruin it all, huh? Dirt will do that a lot in this little endeavor we have going on. bit early there. Okay. Well, let's, huh. Okay. I missed the ground, or missed the water. Sand. We got no sands. Did we get any dirt? Or just any, we get too much dirt. Hi, Skelly. Let's go. What? I thought I had those. We're gonna need a lot of storage, and this is just for the junk stuff. I say junk, you know, things like dirt and all of those. Kind of try to make that a monster loot area, I guess. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't go because we had too many. Woods and sticks. Alright, back up we go. Scale gets a bit more in your face when you go, oh, yeah, we might get the steps but done. I think we'll do a little bit better than that, but of course all the stone is andesite. It can't even just be regular stone. No. That might be useful. Hey, at least there's some red sand, the thing that we're ostensibly here for. And so far doing everything in our power not to get. Yes, I know. It's a little bit of an oops, but darn it, I got a beacon. I'm going to use it. And I like terracotta. I mean, you guys saw how much I wanted this mesa biome. We were hunting all around for it. So we'll try to load up here, go get a sleep. It's still far enough to jump on that. Okay, come on. Like, oh, look at that hole. Maybe I should fall in it. Let's get some coffee here. Oh, cold, fresh coffee. Oh, I had that cup ready to go when I started the first of the recordings of the day. Sand. Guess I should try some of these. What, if anything, we can get in? We know brown's not good. Those all go. Now, stone. We're not going to keep those. They'll go over here to potentially be transported at a later date. It's kind of like the little landscaping piles you see on the, if you have like a gravel pit near your home, whatever your city is, or wherever. Most places you don't want to pay to transport gravel, right? It's something our world has a lot of. So generally, people that are going to make concrete, they're going to go to the undesirable land that's soft and gravelly and not very stable, where people don't want to do a lot of building, and they're going to set up shop there and excavate it. It could have been an old river course, it could have been who knows what, but makes great area. And I remember as a kid, man, everybody loved the idea, and it's an area that had long since been developed up into nice retail and apartments and houses and all that kind of stuff. But when I was a little kid, the pediatrician used to be across from there. I remember being a little kid sitting in the doctor's office looking out the window, and if you got the right office, the right, examination room, I guess is what you would call it as a kid. You're like, what? It's that horrible room where they give you shots and all that. Well, as a kid, if you got the right one, you could look out and the big trucks would be out there, and they had the conveyors that would, lift gravel or whatever it was that they were pulling up, sand or anything like that, and they would load the trucks. And man, as a little boy, there's nothing better. It almost made up for getting your temperature took and everything. I just remember strep throat as a kid. I don't know. I was one of those streppy kids, I guess. I got it a lot. But whenever I had to go to the doctor, that was usually what it came down to. Oh, kids get strep throat. You gotta have some penicillin and all that. And I don't really remember anything being worse than the two parts, and they probably had the least to do with anything, but it was the like blood test where they would just stick your finger, and draw just a little bit of blood out of your finger. But the lady had, and I don't know, I doubt they still do this. I don't know that it's still even necessary. I mean, I give blood all the time now, but I guess they're not testing it. But I remember back in the day, they would do the finger stick, and then they would have a little pipette thing that they would stick on the end of your finger, and the nurse lady would have to draw the blood out, like pulling on it with, suction kind of deal. And that was pretty terrifying as a kid. I thought that was not what needed to happen. And it wasn't so much that I was ever terrified of needles. It was the they just poked me. I'm now finger stuck, and then they're gonna jam this thing in there, and it was the little vacuum tube thing, whatever. It wasn't the full on capsule kind of things that they fill blood with. I don't know, it was whatever they dropped on a petri dish or whatever to confirm if you had. Well, no, because they did the throat culture of that. I don't know what they were pulling the blood for. It's probably alien tests or something. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. But yeah, so if you had it, and my mom was pretty savvy. She knew if you were faking, you weren't going far. But if you were really sick, it didn't waste much time, and it was part of the my mom method of kid hooky deterrence. if you were that sick that you couldn't go to school, you were going to the doctor's office. There was no like, let's see if you get better. It was, and we were both. Uh, I would like to say, as a kid, we thought we were smart enough to know that we didn't want to go to the doctor, right? If you're sick enough, you want to go to the doctor. And, so she could tell very quickly if you were lethargic enough. You're like, if you start freaking out in your bed, like, oh, I thought I was going to stay home and eat Cheerios and watch TV, and then got the look of fear over your face when she's like, yep, well, I just called the doctor's office. They'll see you in 30 minutes. That's when we're going in. She knew. And she could decode that pretty quick. Although we were pretty good kids. I don't think we ever really tried too hard to get out. And parents also know if you got a bug versus being sick. I think that's yeah, it's just something. You got a mild fever, or whatever. But for me, a lot of the times that was strep throat. So I'd have the like kid anguished swallow face kind of deal. Where it'll hurt if it was the old. I don't know how many people here will admit to remembering it, but there was an old Vicks Chloroseptic, which was the cherry medicine flavored spray that you would spray in the back of your throat if you had a sore throat. And it was, it's I don't know how much medicine it is. It doesn't really help anything, but it would mask the pain, and I'm sure for adults and things it would definitely go, but that would be the first line of response if you said you had a sore throat. All right, well, shoot it with the stuff, see if it gets better. Like, I don't want to. It's so horrible. It tastes bad. But yeah, it was that like pump action thing, and the commercial for it was this little girl, I think, and she would. It started with her like in bed in the middle of the night. It's all dark in a kid's room, right? And there's a kid in bed, and she's just thinking to herself or saying to herself, "It'll hurt if I swallow. It'll hurt if I swallow. It'll hurt if I swallow." And then you hear this, "Ma!" That was the whole deal. Parents know that when kids get sore throats, there's only one thing: use this spray that will mask the pain and not actually solve the underlying illness. That's probably too hard. I'm a big fan of some of the Vicks products, but as a kid, I was that and Hall's mentholated the medicine-y cough drop stuff, not like the Luden's candy ones that were just sugar in your mouth. No, like the medicated ones. Oh, I hated those too. And we'd get those. Oh man, if you were like hacking in a car, or if you had the ill fortune to be at church or something like that and start coughing or anything like that. Oh, my grandma and my mom both. My grandma must have taught it to my mom. They'd jam you full of those Hall's cough drops so quick. Like, here, suck on one of these. And it's all well-meaning, but it's those things as a kid, right? As an adult, you'd be like, yeah, that's what I need. That'll help. Kid, you're like, oh, I'll fight it. I'll hide it so bad. I don't want anybody to know. I don't want to have that in my mouth. It's awful. And then I won't be able to spit it out because I'm sitting here in this, concert hall or church or whatever, and I totally under scrutiny. So yeah, we'd always try to hide any sick or ill effect, and you couldn't. Then you'd be worried that it wouldn't. Whatever fun you had planned was gonna get canceled. You'd ruin everything. It'd be inconvenient and all that. So yeah, I certainly remember that. Being a drawback, but one of the parts, once you ended up in the doctor's office, aside from the little like diagnostic or just blood test, whatever it was, finger stick, there was the tongue depressor throat swab, and I will be the first to say, for whatever, through necessity or whatever else, I didn't have to have one of the brain tickle COVID tests, and I'm so glad. And it's not. I'm not opposed to diagnostic medicine or anything like that. I think it's awesome that we have a test, and people can identify if they, early on especially, that people could begin to identify if they really had it or not, because nobody was too sure. Um, but that brings back such memories of that doctor's office when you were sick, but they had to get the throat culture to confirm it, right? To give you the medicine. And when you were sick, the whole idea of tongue depressor to hold down the thing, and then they're jabbing your inflamed, burning, irritated throat with a cotton swab. Oh man, that would be absolute agony. And I remember one time, I mean, I must have been full on sick, but I'm in this little, you guys all, doctors' waiting rooms haven't changed at all in, well, except now the doctor hopefully has a laptop that they can come in and help explain stuff to you on. Um, but, table with the paper thing, you're sitting there in your skivvies probably as a little kid. That's probably the deal. And you're scared and you're uncomfortable and you're sitting there with your mom and, they're, mom and dad are bored or whoever's taking you are like, oh, can we just get this over with? You're like, oh man, I made them come. I don't want to be here either. I feel bad. I want to be in bed. And you kind of have to endure that situation anyway. I'm sitting there, and the guy finally comes in. He's like, "All right, guy, maybe it was a lady. I don't remember. No, I think it was the doctor. They'd come in and done all the basic blood pressure cuff and all that kind of stuff. The doctor comes in, and he's doing the actual exam where they, among other things, check glands and all that kind of stuff, give you the official doctor look over, verify, yep, all right, well, we've got the culture, so actually what I'm doing is totally secondary to, we're going to wait on the lab results, and as soon as they're back, we'll know, yep, you got it, or nope, you don't, and then you're all done. We'll get you the medicine and get you out. So he had to do that little swabby thing in the back of my throat. Man, that little like hand washing sink for the doctor to wash his hands between visits so everybody feels all good about it and it never gets used for anything else. I used it. I booted into that thing hard. I think my mom was just mortified, right? This isn't like a toilet or a disposal kitchen or anything. But I mean, I was a little kid. I was sick. I didn't have a whole lot of control over the bodily functions, and it was bad. Felt even then being sick, and this wasn't super young. I think I knew, okay, it's probably strep throat before I ever went in. But I felt bad about the whole deal, and I was embarrassed. Mom was embarrassed. Doctor guy's like, "Don't worry about it. It's no big deal." It's probably like, dude, I think we have puke down in the drain, and what are we gonna do about that smell? Lots of bleach. Get the bleach. Anyway, they're doctors' offices. I know that they've dealt with worse, and probably as a matter of routine course, but that was one of them. So then the eventual fun story, and it may have been well past it by this point, but when I was a kid, after many and I say many, like I don't think I was like chronically strep throat kid or anything, but like if it went through the school every year or whatever, and kids had it, I was gonna get it. I was particularly prone, which came back anyway. We'll maybe get to that depending on how long are we into this episode. I don't even know. 119, another 120-ish one. I'll load up this. So yeah, one doctor's visit. I got it when I was a kid. I don't know if it still is or not, but when I was a little kid, the response for having strep was you got an injection of penicillin right into your thigh. It was just a shot, and then you're done, right? No course treatment or anything, and that knocks it out. You're good. When that was going along, one time they gave it to me, and they made you, it was the deal. You had to sit and wait, just like with COVID stuff, right? You can't leave the doctor's office until it goes. So we're sitting there waiting. My mom's like, "Nurse, is this supposed to be happening?" And my leg was swelling up like a balloon. So they got all, all like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh my gosh!" And they, said, "Well, this is weird, but reaction to the penicillin," which it very likely wasn't, I think, at this point. But they, as a kid, they didn't want to take any chances. Thank you, medical establishment. I appreciate that. But they are like, well, we got to counteract that, and now he has to take oral penicillin or whatever instead of the large single dose in a shot. You can have it, you just got to have it spread out over days with pills. Which, okay, that was a deal, but the pills were like awful. I don't know what the deal was, and if it was just me as a kid or whatever, but I could not get these nasty pills down. That they weren't like Flintstones vitamins or anything like that. And as a little kid, I think that was probably more of it than anything. As a little kid, swallowing pills and stuff isn't a common deal. That's why they give you shots or nasal flu vaccines or that. I should really go light that area up, but I'm not super hurried to do it. So I couldn't have shots of penicillin for a long time, and it kept kind of bringing this up to doctors because for a long time they were like, anytime that you get asked if you have any allergies, the only one that doctors should be aware of is once you had a reaction to large dose penicillin, but you can tell them that you've had oral penicillin since then without any further reaction, and they would monitor me as I went in, and if I ever had to have penicillin for strep basically, but whatever else kid illnesses you might have. Come on, are you serious? I don't want to fight mobs. I want to wrap up this episode. Okay, let's rush in here. Isn't even a mine, it's a cave. Cave full of mobs. We did caving already. Okay, that's a good stopping point. We'll maybe get down here at some point, but it's not the priority. And the priority right now is wrapping up this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we're just getting going here. A couple episodes probably of knocking this out, although our shulker boxes will probably get jammed up pretty darn quick. And when we've kind of loaded up our green shulker boxes with the terracotta out of that corner coming down, we'll then turn our attention to this redstone in the area, or red sand, to make the red sandstone. Gather all of it up and call it good. But as we so often do about this point in the episodes, I'm going to wish you guys well and encourage you to take a nice break. My afternoon is winding down. It's still kind of the heat of the day, but I think it's probably broken enough. If it's not storming out there, I'm going to get outside and do a nice little walk, and we'll go from there. So you guys do the same if you can. At least get some water. Maybe go hit the bathroom. Give your eyes that little quick break away from the screen so you don't tire out your irises and your brain cells and all the rest. And while you're at not tiring those out, tire out your legs a little bit. Go move around, and we'll see you back here. My videos will be waiting for you whenever you're ready. Take care of yourselves. Stay awesome. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Comment, subscribe, like if you liked it. All that